Welcome to Fishing for Bees. This is my YouTube channel on swarm catching and beekeeping. If you're new to the channel, a little bit about us is we've never purchased bees, we've never split a colony, we've never bought a queen, and I'm not anti any of those things. We just haven't had to. Swarms keep replenishing our minimal winter losses to the point that in our other yard where we keep our swarm catches, I've been able to give away 10 frame colonies in the spring. In our production yard here, I want 8 colonies. That's all I want. So when I have excess colonies in our other yard, after establishing this to be 8 going into honey production in the spring, I've given away 10 frame colonies. So if any of that interests you, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to do just a short video on an odd item that I carry with me in the bee yard. So I'm curious, maybe you could comment on some of the odd items that you carry with you in the bee yard that maybe aren't related to beekeeping but you find useful. Painter's tape is one of them. That's not what we're doing today. I have a video on that. The odd item I carry with me in the bee yard is a blood pressure cup. You have to have one small enough to get around the bees' small arms to check their blood pressure. If it's too big, it's going to be too baggy. You can't build pressure and you're not going to be able to check their blood pressure. Okay, bad joke. It is something I carry with me, but it's only because it's in my bag with a stethoscope. So I carry a stethoscope with me in the bee yard because I am not a big fan of what I did early on my first year of beekeeping. That's knocking on the hive in the winter to see activity at the entrance to know they're still alive. I've spoke about this the last couple winters, and the amount of pushback I've gotten on how silly I am to recommend not knocking on your beehives is actually shocking, for some simple facts that we know by knocking on the colony or a skunk scratching at the door, that stimulates the fight or flight instinct in the bees, right? And what comes with that? Stress, fear, anxiety, and all of those things in any living organism contribute to bad health. So the occasional once a month, once every 2 months, tap on the side to see a little activity, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the new beekeeper's desire to do everything positive and right for their bees. And it's a noble thing. It's awesome. I was there, right? And you've made it through. You know, you bought your nuke in the spring and you've made it to winter and you're super excited and super nervous about going into winter and you want everything to be right for your bees. And you come out every other day, or in some cases every day, and knock on the side of the colony to stimulate them to come out of torpor, which is a form of hibernation. Like, so how are you when you're woke from a dead sleep? To see that activity at the door, to know that your colony is still alive and doing well. You're contributing to stress in your colony, which I believe you're contributing to poor health in your colony, which you're contributing to them being awake and active, burning calories, and then eating your resources. There's an easier way. And I started doing this the first year after several knocks. Again, I'm not coming down on people for what we as new beekeepers do, because we care for our bees and we want the best for our bees. So, a cheap stethoscope. I saw them on Amazon. I was actually shocked at the prices now. $130, $140 to $16. You don't need much. The thing with them is they're a little bit difficult to get used to, and any noise outside of the earbuds is going to be problematic to you. So you need to do it when it's quiet. Today's a little bit windy, and I've noticed that even on windy days it's a little bit of a problem. I have decades of experience with these in my job, so you'll train your ears to get better at them, and you'll understand what you're trying to hear and what you're listening for. The other alternative, obviously, is a thermal imaging camera. I don't have one. I would like one. I'm not sure how much of a novelty it is because I don't do removals, and that's a significant expense. I'm not going to buy one that is just a knockoff. You know, I want one that's going to be good quality. So if I ever buy one, it's going to be a significant expense, and I just haven't done it yet. Again, I don't do bee removals. For what I'm doing here, certainly a thermal imaging camera is going to give you a lot more information than what this is giving you. But this is going to give you just the same amount of information as knocking on your colony. And it's actually going to give you a little bit more, and I'll explain why. So as I listen around this colony, and I actually start down here and around the back and around the other side, you will hear the area that the bees are in. It's a humming noise. It's a buzzing noise. It's really cool and really fascinating. And you will be able to trace around the colony enough to even know, hey, they're on this side, on the bottom. No, now they're on that side, on the top, or in between. These things are great to determine where the colony is, but if you're simply just wanting to know if your colony is alive, I strongly recommend a small investment of under $20 in a stethoscope to check to see if your bees are still alive and how they're doing on the inside, rather than the knocking on the side, breaking them out of hibernation torpor, stressing them. Then they have to move to the entrance. Now they're ready to fight because something's out there. Consider trying this. Again, I don't know why over the years, and I will continue to have the same opinion, that it's not a good idea to knock on your colonies during the winter. I sometimes wonder why there's such significant pushback on the obvious. But there is in beekeeping, and opinions are strong, and certainly some of my opinions are strong as well, and I'm guilty of that. My opinions are based on observations. I have never taken a bee class. I never had a mentor. I've never gone to a meeting, but I have spent years researching through YouTube and literatures to come up with my opinions. And some of my opinions are very, very simple. Banging on the side of your colony stresses them, makes them not happy, triggers the fight or flight syndrome, anxiety, fear. Now they're active, now they're consuming more of your resources. Then it takes that period of time, and if you watch it, it takes sometimes up to an hour for them to visually look calm again. But my suspicion is it takes a couple hours for them to go back to that dormant hibernation torpor state again, just because you knocked on the side of the colony. I've really enjoyed this over the years. It's an odd piece of equipment that I carry with me, and I've found it very, very beneficial to know that my bees are alive and to also trace the movement of the bees within the colonies. Now, you may be concerned right now, I'm heading into winter, my bees are in the upper box. This will tell you where your bees are at and what box they're in, right? You don't have to break this open and start tearing out frames or even lift this lid. This will tell you a lot. If you use this, please put in the comments the things that I've missed, what you like of it, what information you believe it's giving to you about your colonies. This thing is decades old. It was actually given to me by a nurse friend of mine when I was in medical school. And now I carry it in my bee mobile and I use it in the field. So just a short video today. Again, if there's any comments that you got, please put them down there. If you haven't used this or you're going to use it, let me know what you think. And consider, if you're a new beekeeper, to not knock on your colonies. Again, an occasional knock, although I still believe it causes all those things, is not as bad as an every other day knock on your colony, or every nice day in the winter knock on your colony, or even on those bad days, you know, oh, I'm concerned about my colony, but it's, you know, under 30 degrees out here. You can still trigger them. You can still knock on that colony and get them to come to that door. That's a bad idea, in my opinion. So there it is. Here's the odd piece of equipment that I carry with me in the bee yard. I appreciate you coming along for the ride today. Thanks for watching. I hope your bees are well.